Hello friends, it's Mr. Jim and welcome back to Kids Short Stories. Did you know that we have a ton of activities that we make just for you? Head on over to heymrjim.com and look for activities for kids for all kinds of great fun stuff for you to do after you listen to our podcast called Kids Animal Stories. Well friends, today's story comes to us from Hawken and Oakley. They sent me an awesome idea for a story, and you can too. Well, are you guys ready for today's story? Me too. Let's go. It was a beautiful day on the moon as Hawken and Oakley were lounged out and drinking some nice, delicious lemonade. Wait a second, they're on the moon? You might wonder how that's possible. Well, these two are actually real space rangers. They spend most of their time up in space, guarding all of the planets, from the farthest planet to the very most closest to the moon. Do you know what planet is very, very close to the moon? Yes, planet Earth. That is actually where Hawken and Oakley are from, a very long time ago before they moved to the moon. Hey Oakley, could you hand me some of those snacks over there? Said Hawken. Yep, here you go. Oakley had reached down and leaned over to grab a bag of their favorite snack, moon popcorn. They had figured out a way how to grow corn on the moon, and this moon popcorn, which comes, from corn, was absolutely delicious. Have you ever tried moon popcorn before? Oh, we got to get that recipe. Or maybe we just got to head to the moon. Hawken, it's been such a slow week. There's been no adventures for us. Do you think this space is just safe now? They don't need us space rangers anymore? Hawken sat up from his chair after shoving a whole handful of moon popcorn in his mouth. He chewed it up, swallowed, and said, "There's no way, Oakley. Space is full of never-ending adventures. That's why we moved here, remember?" "Yeah," said Oakley. It just feels like it's been kind of a boring week." "Oh, don't say that word," said Hawken. "Just wait. Now that you said the B word, something crazy is going to happen." You see, over time, Hawken and Oakley had both learned to never complain about it being boring, because that's when the biggest problems seem to pop up. And that's exactly what is about to happen to them right now. Beep, 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 beep. Hawken and Oakley looked at each other. They couldn't believe it. "It's the alarm! Hurry!" They ran back to their base camp as soon as possible and opened up the screen. "Oh no, look at that!" Hawken was pointed to a giant rock, like a meteor, flying through space, headed right towards a faraway planet. They had never heard of this planet before. "Hawken, look! It's headed towards the French toast planet!" Oakley shouted and couldn't believe it. "Have you ever heard of the French toast planet?" "Yes, that's actually where all of our French toast comes from. It's delivered on a spaceship on Tuesdays, I think. But that planet is where they make all of the delicious French toast that we eat for breakfast." "There's no way that we can let that planet get destroyed by that giant meteor asteroid rock thing," said Hawken. "It's our job as rangers to save the universe and the universe's supply of French toast. Let's go!" The two of them jumped into their rocket ship and blasted off. They had to get to that planet as fast as possible. But it's a good thing they had supersonic hyperactive hyperdrive speed. That is when their rocket ship would go super fast and cruise through space, and they could get to another planet far away in the blink of an eye. Zoom! They carefully landed down on the planet and stepped out of the spaceship. They had never been there before, and Oakley was quick to take his helmet off because he knew it would smell absolutely delicious. "Oh, it smells just like French toast." As they looked around, Hawken and Oakley couldn't believe it. Everywhere they looked was French toast. The entire planet was made of this delicious stuff, and there were even syrup rivers and maple syrup waterfalls and even maple syrup swimming pools. How in the world do they swim in those? Asked Hawken. That would be like impossible. They're so sticky. As they were walking around, they were quickly greeted by one of the local aliens on the planet.
Hello, Space Rangers. Thank you for coming. We have a serious problem on our hands. Come this way. Come. Beep, beep.
Hawken and Oakley stayed close behind this local French toast alien. So what seems to be the problem? We know there's some kind of huge asteroid rock thing coming for the planet. Have you guys been able to send up something to stop it or redirect it? Asked Oakley.
No, we have not been able to do anything to stop that giant rock from crashing into our planet. All we have is French toast and maple syrup. It doesn't seem to help anything.
Well, why don't you show us around and maybe we can figure out a way to save the planet, said Hawken. Because there's no way that anyone wants to live in a universe without French toast, shouted Oakley. The local French toast aliens were quick to show Hawken and Oakley all around their planet. You see, their planet, it wasn't very big, but it was very important with all that delicious French toast and maple syrup. I didn't know that there was, that stuff was made on some planet far away, but wow, am I grateful for all those aliens that work super duper hard. We got to make sure that we save that planet. Am I right? Yes! Yes, we do! And it was at this moment that Hawken saw something that could maybe, just maybe, save the whole planet. Hey, what are these things over here for? They look like some pretty cool sprayers, asked Hawken.
Well, those are our pressure-powered maple syrup hose sprayers to load up our ships when they need to be filled up quickly with maple syrup before they're shipped off to all their different locations.
How much pressure can you put in those things? Asked Oakley.
Well, they can be very pressurized. We usually only use it at 10%. I've never seen it at full capacity before, but I'm sure it would be pretty impressive.
Hawken and Oakley both looked at each other with their hands on top of their heads, and they realized that they were running out of time. They could see that giant asteroid getting closer and closer to this planet. They needed to act fast. Oakley, I'm going to run over to the pressurizer and engage it to 100% pressure. I need you to hold onto the hose and see if we can launch that maple syrup at the asteroid, and hopefully it will deflect it in time. Wow, this could actually work. Do you know what pressure is? Well, just imagine you're holding a garden hose, and you turn on the water, and the water starts to trickle out just a little bit. The more you turn the handle, the higher the pressure is that the water is now starting to come out faster and faster through that garden hose. Well, you see, that's low pressure and high pressure. The more water is shooting out of the hose, that is higher pressure. And so if he's going to bring their maple syrup hose to full pressure, that means it's going to blast out maple syrup at incredibly high speeds. Hopefully almost like a laser that can push that asteroid out of the way from this planet, saving all of our French toast forever. Hawken, I have the hose in position. Engage it to full pressure power, shouted Oakley. Hawken was standing in front of a whole bunch of switches. He didn't know which switches to push, but I'm pretty sure he needs to push all of them. As each switch engaged, the pressure increased from the hose that Oakley was holding, and pretty soon it turned into a maple syrup laser. It was shooting out of there so fast, it was seriously like a laser beam. Do you think you would be strong enough to hold onto a hose where there's a maple syrup laser beam shooting out of it? I don't know if I am, but somehow Oakley is. As he held the hose up, it shot out all that syrup towards the asteroid, completely exploding it. They've saved the French toast! Woohoo! As they turned down the pressure for that maple syrup laser, all the aliens on the planet couldn't believe it.
How in the world did you do that? That is absolutely amazing. We didn't realize that we had maple syrup laser power here. Thank you so much, Hawken and Oakley.
And that is the day that Hawken and Oakley, the Space Rangers, saved the universe's supply of French toast and maple syrup. Now I'm hungry, and I think I'm gonna go eat some delicious French toast. The end. I need your help celebrating a birthday, and it's a mystery name. It's a name that starts with an S and ends with a Y. Can you think of any names that might start with an S and end with a Y? Well, this birthday is for Sydney. Woohoo! Sydney is turning 6 years old and lives in Edmonton, Alberta, and loves kid short stories so very much. I'm so happy, Sydney, that we get to celebrate your birthday with you. I hope today, is not only a super duper day, I hope it's the best birthday ever. Woohoo! Great job, you listened all the way to the end, and you know what time it is. It's time for Kid Shoutouts. I want to say hey to Natalie and Madalena from California, Grant from San Diego, Sonia from India, Miles from Maine, Omer and John from Florida, Ved from Troy, Michigan, Avia from Indiana, South Carolina, which that's where I live, and Harry, Felix, and Miles from New York. I'm so glad that you're all in the Kid Short Stories family, and on our spy team, we could not stop Dr. Stinky Breath and his crew without you, my friends. Well, you have a super duper day, and I will see you on our next adventure. Bye!